As I mentioned in my talking points, on December 12th, a group of individuals, again, members of this anti-government group, traveled out to the desert to test their explosive devices. They had precursor chemicals there, and they were going to create these bombs in the desert. What they are starting to do is put their chemicals and wares and the components out on the table there. This footage that you're watching is from our surveillance plane, and then what happened after this is the Los Angeles FBI SWAT team, along with the FBI's hostage rescue team, moved in and arrested all 4 subjects without incident.
So now we'll take some questions.
You mentioned these 5 companies. Can you get more specific about
Yeah, we're not naming the victim companies, but I'll generally describe them as logistics centers. You can think of like Amazon-type logistics centers, but we're not naming the specific companies at this time.
Can you elaborate on the locations?
There were at least 5 locations that they intended to target within Orange County and Los Angeles County. Again, we're not giving out the specific sites, but they were willing and...
We're listening to officials out in California updating on what they say was a foiled terror plot planned for New Year's Eve. The head of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California says officials arrested 4 members of a far-left anti-government domestic terror cell who self-identify as the Turtle Island Liberation Front. The officials say the arrest happened Friday after the group tried to construct and detonate IEDs out in the desert. I want to bring in our contributor, former FBI agent Brad Garrett, for more on that. Brad, what do you make of what they're saying so far, that they stopped this attack before it happened, that it was planned for New Year's Eve, and that this group planned to detonate a number of explosive devices?
So it strikes me this is another undercover operation potentially. In other words, there was at least an agent or an informant in with this group, because how would you know to run aerial surveillance unless you had somebody on the ground telling you that was about to occur? So that's the ideal place you want to be. We've heard about it multiple times in terrorism plots where an informant or an individual works an FBI undercover agent into the scenario, and then they start recording and get a lot of incriminating information. But it's also the way, Diane, you just stop these attacks. We say countless times, you can't stop something unless you know about it. And this one, they knew about it. And were able to, once they collected the information, the intelligence, the evidence they needed, obviously before any attack, they made the arrest. So it looks like hats off to them.